All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Bahakwadash, giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth in 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel, right? So I want to entitle this lesson seen past the hard times, right? As we all know, being in this truth. As a matter of fact, that's the first scripture. But being in this truth, brothers, we are, subject to Salakia. We're subject to tribulation. We're subject to chastening. We're subject to, going through things that ultimately are meant to build us up as men, to build us up as men of the Lord in His ministry, and to prepare us for the things that we're going to have to go through during when all hell breaks loose, right? So the Lord will put us through small trials, right, that may seem frustrating, or that may be um, hard for us at the time because we're in this flesh, and we feel the brunt of what's going on, right? So the things that we may go through right now, they may seem hard to us as far as us being in this flesh, right? But it's strengthening us. It's strengthening us in the spirit, strengthening us, Salakia, strengthening us in the spirit, strengthening our minds, strengthening um some cases could be strengthening your body, right? So to know, and this is a good thing. This is a good thing to go through tribulation, to know that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is preparing us to go through the trials and tribulations that we may have to face when all hell breaks loose, right? When judgment is, raining forth with you know, no filter. I'll say that. When judgment is raining forth with no filter, we're gonna have to go through and endure those times. And, obviously those who are of the elect, the Lord is gonna get us through those times, right? But we gotta understand that right now, we have to be prepared. It's like going to, how can you say it? Your goal for a basketball season is to win a championship, right? And you want to win a championship, but you don't practice. You want to win a championship, but you don't go through any, rigorous workout routines. You want to win a championship, but you don't do any of the things that are necessary to be, um, to become the best that you can be. And it's the same thing with this truth. We have to go through things, and we have to go through times that are going to test and try us to strengthen us so that the Lord can exercise our faith. That was another thing I wanted to say, build up our faith, right? So we have to go through hard times. We have to go through trials and tribulations. We have to go through things that are unfavorable and, sometimes may seem annoying, but when you have the true knowledge and understanding, you know and understand the reason for it, right? Where somebody in the world may go through something, may go through a trial, may go through tribulations, and may go through things, and they don't understand why they're going through what they're going through. They don't understand what's happening to them. They don't understand what's going on at the moment. This is where you see these people, man, these people out here in the world bugging out, crashing out, Keisha getting on. Elder Yashawamba said it one time. He was like, man, people nowadays are getting on camera and telling you how they just lost. They get on, they prop up their phone, get on the camera, press record just to tell you how bad they just lost, right? Whereas we in this truth, we understand why we go through the things that we go through, right? We understand why we have to feel, the pain of certain tribulations and certain things, right? So we're not as these people in the world who would just go through life and go through trials and tribulations not knowing, right? So I'm gonna get here, Salaki. Let's go ahead and get into the scriptures. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble, right? So when you come into this truth, when you come into the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you're a Hebrew Israelite, you have to know and understand that um, this comes with a price. It comes with a cost that we have to pay, right? Yahweh Shah talks about that, counting the cost. You got to understand that what comes with this comes with tribulation, right? So you got to, as it says, set thy heart right, or set your mind right, because heart is going into your mind, right? And constantly endure. You have to always endure. You have to always endure trials and tribulations, right? Salakia, 1 second. I got somebody.
Question.
Hey, what's up?
You were waiting. You were waiting. What time you got an appointment?
Yeah, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Also, you've been early.
Yeah,
I was gonna
I,
say I was gonna ask you how long were you waiting for, but I was late for my by an
uh,
hour. I
okay,
appreciate it.
okay. All right, no problem. Salakia. Um, but yeah, it says constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Right? We got to constantly endure. We got to continue to endure until the end. As the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Right? Not endure for a time and then give up because it's getting too hard for you and it's getting too bad and it's getting too much, and giving up. No, we got to endure until the end. Right? No matter what we have to go through. And this is just the chastening of the Lord. And this is a good thing. Chastening of the Lord is a good thing. Right? In the book of Proverbs, it says, I'm about to butcher it. It says, roughly paraphrasing, fret not the chastening of the Lord, for the Lord dealeth with you as sons. Right? So, you being dealt with, you being chastened as the Lord is an indication that the Lord is dealing with you. Right? Verse 3, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state, right? So when certain particular things happen to you, right, you may lose a job. You may, have to go through something where, your money is not coming in like it was, and you gotta, you may only have enough money for bills, and then once you pay those bills, you only got like, a couple of dollars here to get some food or something like that, right? You may lose a vehicle. You may lose a woman. You may lose family members, right? Family members may turn on you, right? Right. We're going to be put in certain positions that are going to test our faith to ultimately build our faith, right? And we have to realize and understand that we got to realize and understand that this is just a part of the territory. This just comes with the territory, right? Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? If we want to be acceptable, we got to go through adversity. If we want to be acceptable to the Lord, we got to go through adversity. anything that you do, really, right? Anything that is of value to you, that you want to accomplish, there's going to be adversity that comes with it, right? There's going to be trials and tests that comes with it. There's nothing in life that you have to go through. Um, nothing in life that you want to achieve that is, something of value that's going to be challenging, right? Nothing in life is just going to come super easy. You want to build a great business. Well, you got to understand that, hey, you might have to eat oodles and noodles every night for a period of time while building that business. You might have to eat, uh, uh, um, you know, Vienna sausage cans or something like that. These are things that you got to go through in order to get something, right? Or in order to get somewhere that is, of value to you. Verse 6, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Salakia. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him, right? So, summing it up, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the Lord got us, right? The Lord got us. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is going to make a way for us to get out of things that we may have to go through. God damn it, I thought I killed this fly. Brothers ever drive trucks, these flies be plotting to get in your truck as soon as you open your door. I don't know what it is, but these motherfuckers, they own it. As soon as you open the door, they buzzing right on in, right? It's like it. Um, yeah, like I'm saying, the Lord has us. The Lord has us, right? Those who believe in Him, those who truly have faith and trust in Him in sincerity, man, the Lord got us. The Lord is going to make a way for us to get out of the tribulations that we go through, right? So, it's nothing that we really got to worry about, right? The book of James, chapter 1, starting verse 2, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. God damn, this motherfucker like it. This thing buzzing all by me and shit. Right? It says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed, right? So it's a lot going into that, right? It says, but let patience have her perfect work, right? Or knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, right? So when we go through things, man, a lot of the times it may seem like it's, it's stretching out, this financial tribulation or, this period where you just go, whatever you may be going through, it just seems like it's prolonged, it's stretching out, and it's going on and on and on for a long time, right? But that's really to work your patience. That's really to build up your patience because, the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is not going to give us everything right now, right? I was talking to a couple of the brothers, Karatazar and Azar, right? We were talking about, how the Lord is going to come, right? And really, a lot of these things that we see, like for example, when Iran had launched missiles on Israel, and we were like, all right, man, we shit, this may be, this may be the start of something. And all of a sudden it kind of just died down a little bit, right? That's really to work our patience, right? That's really to work out our patience and to build up our patience. When we see things happen and we see something kind of start to bubble up a little bit, and then it kind of just dies down, and but we still got to keep going. We still got to keep working our faith, right? Because we were talking, and a point was made, like, when the Lord comes, it's going to be, as scriptures say, the Lord shall come like a thief in the night. It's going to be, we expect it, but the exact time and hour that it happens is going to be unexpected. It's just going to happen. This is going to come through. But we got to have patience. We got to, even the Salakia, I don't know why I can't talk today, but even when we see things happening and when we see things going on, right, that are according to prophecy and they kind of just die down a little bit, right? We got to remain patient. We got to continue. That shouldn't waver our faith. That shouldn't waver um, us doing this work, right? And the same thing when you go through things, when you go through trials and tribulation, you have to endure certain things, right? Those things shouldn't waver your faith. And when you pray to the Lord, you got to believe that whatever you pray to the Lord for, the Lord is going to bring you through it. We go to Psalm 34 and 17. The book of Psalm, chapter 34 and verse 17, it says, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all, right? So many of the afflictions are the righteous, right? Or many are the afflictions of the righteous, right? So, and even Paul says it, out of great tribulation shall we receive the kingdom of heaven, or or through many tribulations shall we receive the kingdom of heaven, right? So, all of these things, man, is for our good. It's for our good. It's for the building of our faith. It's for the building of our patience. It's for the building of our spirits and our minds, right? So, don't become faint. He that is of little faith becometh faint, you know, or he that fainteth his faith was never strong, right? So you got to keep going. You got to keep going and moving forward in this truth. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 10. It says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Right? So the Lord is telling us to fear not. Right? Don't fear when we go through tribulations. Don't fear when we go through hard times. Right? And we may have disappointment. We may have a little worry. We may have a little anxiety in certain things that we go through. But all in all, man, we shouldn't have a worry in the world, because we should understand that, whatever we may go through, having faith in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is ultimately going to get us through everything that we have to endure, right? So continue to endure. Don't let your faith waver, and, continue on in this truth, right? So, Lord willing, this video lesson was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakadash.